All right, what is up, my friends? Welcome to another Monday video here on CoolStuffInc.com. We are playing some Modern. Now, if you read my article last Friday, I talked about the fact that Modern is pretty exciting right now. With the advent of Pioneer, obviously Arena being very popular, and there just being a whole bunch of formats with a whole bunch of stuff happening. Modern's been kind of quiet in the last 6 months, almost to a year. Not quiet in the sense of movement, where the format has changed drastically. The format's probably changed more in the last year than it has in the entire inception of the format. Bannings, overpowered cards being printed, more bannings, just total metagame shifts. It's been wild. So the combination of that, plus the fact that there have been kind of less tournaments, the Star City Games Tour, obviously one of the major spots you see Modern, has been doing a lot of team tournaments, and team tournaments tend to sort of obscure results. You know, the Modern deck that was on the team that won the team tournament may or may not have done good. Who knows? Maybe their Pioneer and Standard players just crushed everyone. So not a lot of clear results, and a bunch of new powerful cards, a bunch of change, and all sorts of stuff makes Modern pretty wild right now. So my article on Friday discussed 5 decks that are kind of obviously known quantities, but might be unexpected if you haven't played Modern in a few months. And one of them was this deck right here, Bant Stoneblade. Now, when Stoneforge Mystic came off the ban list, and I will admit, I was one of the ones who was skeptical about taking it off the ban list. It didn't really do anything. Stoneforge is pretty fair, you know, all things considered, and Modern's a pretty unfair format. But doesn't mean Stoneforge Mystic's unplayable. It just means that it's not, going to be in every single deck. It's still a very powerful card. And this deck here is sort of like an evolution of blue-white control with a more proactive game plan. So we have a lot of the usual blue-white control cards here. We have Cryptic Command and Jace the Mind Sculptor, Supreme Verdict, Force of Negation, one of the more important cards printed in the last few years for control decks. Teferi Time Raveler, your usual Mana Leaks, Path to Exile, Snapcaster Mage, all that stuff. But by adding Stoneforge Mystic, instead of having to sit back and win the game on turn 50, we have a more proactive threat. We can get either Batterskull or Sword of Feast and Famine. Batterskull, obviously, just like a Baneslayer Angel, insane against aggro decks, and then Sword of Feast and Famine, insane against control and combo decks, where you can make them discard cards, untap all your lands for counter spells. So 2 great, very threatening options, very cheap cost here. Play it on 2, leave mana open on 3, equip it on turn 4 with counter spells up, which is great. So Stoneforge, obviously a very powerful card, gives the deck a nice threat, but we ain't just going blue-white. Arcum's Astrolabe, one of the sillier cards printed last year. Maybe it even isn't. I don't know. They printed so many dumb cards last year. Arcum's Astrolabe, fixing mana and providing snow permanence allows us to splash a color very, very easily. And green gives us a few things. One, Ice-Fang Coatl is just a really, really good card. Baleful Strix on steroids. Obviously requires snow permanence to have Death Touch, but a great, threat to have against control mirrors where you can kind of poke away with it. A great defensive threat that can block things. Wears a sword really well. Just a very, very solid card. And Euro, Titan of Nature's Wrath. Just an obscenely powerful magic card. Just so good at any grindy or long game. Just keeps coming back over and over again. Very, very powerful card. And then, perhaps most importantly, a couple copies of Veil somewhere in the sideboard. So, nice little easy green splash. Couple lands here and there. 4 Astrolabes. And we are good to go. And of course, our mana base needs to be built around snow lands because of that. A lot of basics, a lot of fetch lands. Makes us backwardsly good against things like Blood Moon, and so on and so forth. But this deck is basically just a spiritual successor to Caw-Blade. And for those who remember Caw-Blade back in Standard, maybe 10 years ago, deck was very, very powerful, very, very flexible, played a lot of really great cards, a lot of which are in this deck, and was very, very adaptable. Maybe there are more control decks in your metagame, or maybe there are more combo decks. Maybe you don't want Ice-Fang Coatl. Maybe you need more counter spells. Maybe you want more planeswalkers. You can really kind of twist the deck to whatever you want it or need it to be at any given time. More creature decks, play more verdicts, etc., etc. So, flexible deck, rewards very tight play, and very, very adaptable. Sideboard also very adaptable. We got some anti-burn cards here in Timely Reinforcements and Kor Firewalker. Rest in Peace pretty nice in this deck. Our only graveyard synergies are 2 Euro and 2 Snapcaster Mage. Otherwise, the graveyard's free for exiling. So 2 Rest in Peace plus Celestial Purge. Usually, I love having these one-of powerful cards in our decks like this, where we can find them with our our card draw and then flash them back to Snapcaster Mage. We have 1 Celestial Purge, 1 Mystical Dispute, 1 Disdainful Stroke, 1 Aether Gust, very important against Primeval Titan through a Cavern of Souls. Then we have 1 Engineered Explosives, a card I never leave home without when I'm playing a blue deck in Modern. As we said, 2 Veil of Summer, very, very powerful card. The second Verdict, in case you got to blow everything up. And then 2 Ashiok Dream Render. And Ashiok Dream Render is a pretty sweet card. Very good against Primeval Titan decks as well as graveyard decks. So, and then obviously, honestly, in control mirrors against things like Dimir Wurza, you can just deck them. I mean, milling, 20 cards over the course of a few turns can actually win the game by itself. So that's the deck. Pretty sweet. Definitely looking forward to playing this deck. It's a deck of the style that I enjoy. But first, a fast message from our sponsors at CoolStuffInc.com.
This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com. To learn more about this deck, click the link in the video's description below to read Jim's article.
All right, here we are for round number 1, and we got a pretty nice hand here, not gonna lie. All right. Oh boy. All right, good start. Looks like we're going to 5 here. Yeah. Okay, much better, much better. The basic lands are a little awkward, but we're gonna keep. And Sword of Feast of Famine, Ice-Fang Coatl is actually not too bad. We're gonna keep this. And we're going to ship the Opt. So I think I want Ice-Fang and I want Sword and I want lands. Question is, do I want to ship a land or a Cryptic? Opt to be finding us these cards anyway, so ship the Opt. And then I think I'm feeling Cryptic Command. Mana's a little awkward right now. We're on the draw. Yeah, not the best hand here, but we'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do. It's on a full 7 cards on the play. So Mox Amber, Mishra's Bauble, Flooded Strand. It's going to be a turn 1 Emery here. Yeah, it is. So also wrote about this deck in my article. This is the Underworld Breach combo deck, probably. And turn 1 Emery is pretty busted. We might even just be going to game 2. We will see what they do here. Emery can cast Bauble every turn to draw 2 cards a turn, and they have a Mox in play. So Astrolabe from hand. Another island? Okay. With double island, it's possible they're just playing some sort of Urza deck. Okay, yeah, they're playing some sort of Simic Urza deck. Alright, so they have a Goose also. So the problem is they're just drawing 2 cards a turn with Emery, and I don't think we're ever getting through. There's a question of if we should just concede and conceal what we're playing, because we're just never going to win this game. They currently have 3 mana in play. They have 4 mana in play. They draw 2 cards every turn. I like to see what they're doing, I guess. They're probably just Simic Urza. I guess Delta. We'll play it out, I guess. If you feel like you're a 95-5 dog in Modern, there's often some value to just conceding and trying to conceal what you're playing. But we've already played a Delta, so they know we're playing a blue deck. So I suppose we'll give it the old college try. They can just keep stacking Bauble over and over and over again. They even have access to explosives. A Lonely Sandbar. Interesting. And they didn't sack the bauble. Also very interesting. And now they're going to sack the bauble on their turn. It's kind of weird. Breeding pool. Yeah, this is our opponent's deck operating on all cylinders. It seems hard for them to have a better opening than this. Mishra's baubles everywhere. Probably have Cryptic Command also, or at least like Archmage's Charm or something. Draw 2 more cards. Jace the Mind Sculptor. And just tap land. Can make a food. Sack their bauble. I have 6 cards in hand. Steam Vent's Breeding Pool. Interesting. Okay, so I was just going to say, Lonely Sandbar makes me think that they're also playing Wrenn and 6. I mean... Alright, so they have... I'm conceding this game. They've got 2 card draw engines, and they're miles ahead on cards and mana. They're just playing like a Temur Urza deck. Wrenn and 6, Emery. It's so funny, these decks are still so good, even though they banned Mox Opal. Like, Mox Opal used to be in these decks. That's how good these decks were. So, pretty frustrating game, obviously, to mulligan to 5. Although you're better off mulligan to 5 when your opponent has the absolute best possible hand they can have, because you're already at a disadvantage. So, whatever, mull to 5. All right, so they have Wrenn and 6 and Emery. So they have some graveyard stuff going on. Supreme Verdict is actually quite good against Urza, although we are playing our own Stoneforge Mystics, obviously. Dispute is certainly interesting. Ashiok is a question we need to decide if we're going to answer or not. Rest in Peace and Ashiok are both possibilities. Fortunately, Emery is pretty good against us because we don't really want to Path Exile and Emery on turn 1. Force is not super exciting. I would say Spell Snare isn't great against them. I guess it stops Wrenn and 6. That's pretty good. It's possible they're playing... I guess they can't be playing Thopter Foundry because they're playing Temur. So if they're playing Urza, they're just playing it straight up, I guess. Definitely don't like Ice-Fang too much. I mean, these are all definitely coming in. I think the Verdict should come out, even though it's a good answer to Urza. We're playing our own creatures, and I just don't think I'm really thrilled with it. We shaped the Force of Negation doesn't seem super good against a lot of what they're doing. Their best threat's probably Urza. And then we have Rest in Peace Ashiok. Rest in Peace turns off our snaps and our Euros. Ashiok does not. All right, let's leave it like this in the play. I think maybe we want Ashiok, but also not like thrilled with Jace the Mind Sculptor. They have like disputes and stuff, but all right, we're gonna need to work on keeping a 7-card hand here. That's gonna be our first thing to do. No comment. No comment. Opponent's currently thinking about their 7-card hand. Come on, opponent. Water's fine. Nope, they keep 7. Okay. All right, so I guess we'll keep this. We'll ship Cryptic, Land, Opt. As far as 4-card hands go, I suppose this one's okay. London Mulligan usually means your 4-card hand is fine, though. Just the best 4 cards of your 7. London Mulligan makes, going to 4 not as bad. Definitely a London Mulligan fan. So the choice here is, are we getting Batterskull or are we getting Sword of Feast and Famine? It's probably just Batterskull, given that Sword requires you to put it in and then equip it. Yeah. With only 2 lands in play, I would like to have the less mana-intensive card. Breeding Pool, Gilded Goose, and Emery. Jeez. So, pretty good hands from our opponent so far. Right, well, we can't play that because we got to put in Batterskull, so. And unfortunately, their Emery hit another bobble, so they are firing on all cylinders. If Emery had not hit an artifact, wouldn't have been that bad for us, Aether, Spellbomb. Oh, man. I mean, we could put in Batterskull and just bounce it with Aether Spellbomb, but I guess we're not going to not do that. This is just actually kind of comical. And they can Aether Spellbomb every turn with Emery. Alright, so they bounce token, never tapped out. I guess we're going to play Teferi and bounce Emery. Which doesn't feel great, but... Alright, I mean, maybe we could play Jace next turn. For 4 cards, we're playing Magic, Mishra's Bauble, Mox Amber, 1 mana Emery, milling a Euro. Bauble us. Stoneforge Mystic. I mean, we can play Jace. I suppose we can bounce the Emery, just to keep them from fussing with it. Otherwise, they're just drawing a card with it every turn. Yeah. Like they get to keep playing it and milling cards, but I think it's just like fine. Next turn we can Stoneforge again. We can Astrolabe. Teferi's working its way up. Emery again. Milling. Land Dispute. Sure. If they had a land drop, they could play Euro, but they seem to not be doing that. Oh, never mind. So Mox Amber, second Mox Amber, blue, 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 blue. So Urza. Okay. There's your Urza. This is turn 5. I missed some land drops, I suppose. Cryptic Command. I mean, bouncing the Construct, playing Stoneforge Mystic. I guess I only have one white, so I can't put in the equipment I get off Stoneforge. We're just playing Astrolabe to start. We're not going to be cryptic anything, I don't think, concerned, so I'd like to draw a land here, I think. Cool. So let's play Stoneforge Mystic. Get Sword. Bounce the Construct. And now we say go. Amusingly enough, Stoneforges right here are pretty good blockers for our 2 Planeswalkers, so... So, get back Bobble, cast it. They're way ahead on cards, but... Cryptic Command. Tap all creatures your opponents control, draw a card. So they want to attack and kill my Jace, which kind of sucks, but... Response will put our sword in. I mean, now if they attack, we get to equip an attack and get our sword going, which is kind of cool, so... From all I get to 4, we're not doing too bad here. You know, I just want to say we're not doing too bad. Could certainly be worse. So we're going to equip, play land, attack with Stoneforge Mystic, pro green, they can't block. All right, so trigger goes on a stack. They discard a card. We untap all of our lands. So in response, we're going to bounce our Batterskull to our hand. And I guess we'll fetch a duel. I guess we could held up Mystic Sanctuary. So this resolves. They untap, or we untap all of our lands. They discard a card. Now we can put in Batterskull, and we have Cryptic Command up. They discard a Metallic Rebuke. Okay. Plus Teferi. Say go. Mystic Sanctuary to put what? Cryptic Command on top of their deck. Sure. Of course, we have Teferi in place, so the counterspells aren't super useful. So it looks like they're going for a Euro here. So what are we going to do about this Euro? Euro certainly needs to be dealt with. We could just Cryptic this and counter. Nice counter draw. They can Emery back an Aether Spellbomb and kind of neuter my Batterskull, which is pretty annoying. But I don't think we go with this resolve. They have to draw a card off and make a land drop. And then it has to be dealt with before the attacks. Yeah. And we're just going to draw. Alright, so I get back Spellbomb, which is pretty annoying because they can just indefinitely Spellbomb my Batterskull. I guess if they're doing that, though, they are not drawing cards, Mishra's Bauble. I guess we just make him do it. Spell Snare does not seem very good. I should have boarded this card out. Alright, play Astrolabe. Draw Force of Negation. That's actually adorable because we can force the negation the spell bomb, so they can't keep recurring it every turn. That's hilarious. All right, we're just gonna plus attack with the germ, make them bounce it, and I guess they go. No point attacking with Stoneforge. I just block with the Urza. Our untapped creatures are defending our Teferi. All right, so they're gonna bounce that. Yep. Considering how good their start was, and we mulligan to 4, the fact that we're in this game is pretty amazing. We got a long way to go. We ain't there yet, but like it's turn 8. They probably have 6 spells in their hands. They haven't played a land in a while. All right, they're gonna get back Spellbomb again. All right, well, I guess we're gonna Force Negation it. Seems kind of crazy, but getting Batterskull going is pretty sweet, and putting a sword on the Batterskull is pretty huge too because it gets through Euro. So I'm pretty sure we're forcing this. And we'll just hardcast it. We could pitch it, then bounce and replay Batterskull. I guess maybe Spell Snare is just like worthless. It's not worthless, but maybe we should just try and set up our Batterskull as soon as possible because they're drawing cards every turn. Yeah, you know what? Let's just do that. 5 mana is the amount to bounce Batterskull to our hand, and then put it back and play with Stoneforge, and then we can attack with the Sword of Feast and Famine next turn. Because they're going to Euro again this turn, probably? Yeah, okay. Well, we might end up Teferi bouncing the Euro. We'll see. Play light on artifacts. Only have 2 in play. So Urza's not doing a ton right now. Let's put in Batterskull. Untap. Draw Forest. Pretty happy to bounce the Euro here. Can't have him be attacking with it. Well, I guess they be hard to attack into Batterskull anyway, but if they have literally anything, I think we just want to. We also want to draw a card too, so. That was pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie. All right. Put this over here. Now we're gonna snap Cryptic up. Discard a card. It's Euro, sure. We untap our lands, sure. I guess we're just playing a land here. End step cycle, Lonely Sandbar, sure. Very amusing how Force of Negation to exile the Aether Spellbomb feels like the crux of this game. They got a full 7 cards in hand. Obviously, Teferi hopefully is turning a lot of them off. Hopefully their hand's like, full of mystical disputes and all sorts of crap like that. One big mean germ. Well, this deck seems cool. Mox Amber alongside Renin 6, Emery, Euro, Urza seems pretty cool. Obviously, Emery synergizes well with both Renin 6 and Euro. Definitely a cool looking deck. All right, if they're going for Euro again, we're going to snap Cryptic. And counter draw. Sure. And again, this is part of the allure of this deck over a deck like Blue-White Control is the amount of pressure you can apply. We got our German play, got our Stoneforges going. They Emery their bobble, play some bobbles, draw some cards. But now the germ is rampaging. And Urza definitely seems weaker in this deck than it does in Dr. Foundry decks. The Urza's been in play for a long time and hasn't really done much. It's made a few mana here and there, but typically when Urza's in play for a longer of a turn or two, it feels like you can't ever win. Man, they are tanking. They are tanking. So next turn we get to draw a card for turn, draw a card for Astrolabe, and I think any sort of counterspell will put this thing away. Most live draws seem good here, like Planeswalkers and stuff. All right, so green or blue. Archmage's Charm, Steal My Germ. Okay. I still control the equipments, of course, so I can just move those over. So Snapcaster Mage is about to get frisky. All right, draw. So 5 to equip Batterskull, 2 to equip Sword of Feast and Famine, and then if they don't chump block with Urza, we get to untap and play this stuff. All right. Put both on the Snapcaster Mage. Could split them. Put the Sword of Feast and Famine on the Snapcaster Mage, and the Batterskull on the Stoneforge Mystic. Might actually be better. I think chump blocking with Urza is what they're going to do no matter what. And I would love to untap my lands of Sword of Feast and Famine, so let's do that actually. Let's put this here. This here. And I get to both. It's exactly lethal, so something has to block. The bird might block the Stoneforge. I guess by putting it on, we put all on the Snapcaster. The birds can't jump, but they can go to 1 or block with Urza. So splitting it seems better here. And they're just taking it, so they are conceding. Wow, won the game on the mulligan to 4. Holy cow! I thought we had no chance. Their hand was actively very good. Also, that's pretty awesome. It's the only words that I have for it. I think we're going to want some graveyard hate. Ren 6, Euro, Emery. I think that's enough to want some sort of graveyard hate. The question is it Ashiok or is it Rest in Peace? Ashiok, of course, only affects them. It does turn off their ability to fetch land, but it is also worse on the draw because it's harder to resolve and it is blue. I think it's probably Rest in Peace. I think on the draw, I am less interested in Jace. We also cut our own Euros for bringing in Rest in Peace. And maybe we want to... our Snapcasters obviously aren't great with Rest in Peace in play. They're functional. They're 2/1s, but... yeah, let's cut our Snaps too. And bring in the Force back in because we can counter Ren 6. I guess we have Rest in Peace for Ren 6 too, but... a Spell Snare seems bad also. Actually, let's cut that. And let's bring the Ice-Fang back in. Stroke. Explosives is interesting. It allows us to kill Emery, which is kind of annoying. And it also allows us to kill Gilded Goose and stuff. Is that better than Snap or Euro? And Snap's still good. We have to have the Rest of the piece in play already. It's a lot of Path to Exiles too. All right, let's try this. A little hedging here and there, That last game was unreal, by the way. Unreal. Mulligan to 4. I mean, we just love mulliganing so much, Opponent mulligans to 6 this time. I think we're going to keep. We draw any land. We can start chaining the cantrips. We have on the draw with double Astrolabe. We're going to keep this. I know, keeping 7. What a novel concept, but maybe they'll go to 4 and beat us. Nope. They're staying with 6. Turn 1, Breeding Pool. Gilded Goose. Bobble. Bobble. No sacks. And we drew a land. We're running hot. Force of Negation. So that's got Ren and 6's name on it if they try and play Ren and 6. Interesting. What is this? It's going to be a Euro? Sure. So not too bad. They had to waste the food to do that. They only got a few cards in hand. Up to 3. Veil of Summer, also not bad. We're definitely going to Ice-Fang here. It's a question of what land we're going to get, but... probably just another island. Alright, there's Steam Vents. And another Goose. That's very good for us. The Geese are not good when you're mulliganing because they are just support cards. They have 2 cards left. And we're going to get ourselves a little snake action here. I think it's just Island with double Astrolabe. It could be Plains, I guess. We have that many white cards that really... I guess we have, obviously, Stoneforge Mystic. Obviously, our Astrolabes make everything castable no matter what. So, let's see, we got Plains. Draw land? No. Draw land? No. Come on. Draw land? Thank God. Thank God. It's not a pretty land, but it's a land. With these Astrolabes in play, every land's a pretty land. So, end step, make food. Not a problem. They can fetch and cast Euro. I don't mind pathing, obviously. So, having Force and Veil here makes me feel pretty damn safe. Fetch Island. Yeah, imagine they're playing Euro here. Ren and 6. Okay, I don't want this to resolve. We're going to force this. And I think we're going to pitch Snapcaster Mage. I guess we could pitch the other Ice-Fang. I do like the idea of drawing a card. Otherwise, this is going to get them a land every single turn. It's a pretty big advantage. They have 1 card left. Yeah, we're definitely forcing. The question is, what are we pitching? Snap isn't that good yet. We might play Teferi next turn. I think I like Ice-Fang, just drawing a card. I'm just going to pitch Snap. Alright, so they're fighting back with Rebuke, so we get to fire off the Veil of Summer here and feel really good about ourselves. Untap, play Teferi. Another Astrolabe. Probably just bounce an Astrolabe. They've got nothing going on. We can just pat the Euro when they play it, so let's try and draw a land here. Did it. And then we can use a little cool trick here. And we can cast Astrolabe with Astrolabe, because Astrolabe makes snow mana, so not snow mana is snow mana. Cast Astrolabe. They've got food. Yes, they do. They've got food. How about you? Alright, what's this big draw here? If it's Urza, things get interesting. But we still have our paths and stuff too, so... Unchain, Euro, we path it. Teferi's in play. Yeah, we're feeling pretty good about this game. Draw a land, we can go Jace plus path. They draw a land and play it. They say go. We draw a land, which is also cool. I guess we're going to upkeep the path. Deny them a land. Play Jace the Mind Sculptor. And I'm pretty big on brainstorming. We could, like, Fate Seal them, but screw that. Always brainstorm. Put back land. So I guess I shouldn't have put land. That was stupid. Yeah, I screwed up. Whatever. Put back land. I guess there's no reason to upkeep it. I could just do it in their attack step because they can't cast spells anyway. So, Mish's Bauble, sure. Beginning of combat, path. Sack the Bauble, 1 card in hand. About to untap with Jace and Teferi and Cryptic Command and Ice-Fang Coatl. We know our top 2 cards are lands. I guess we'll brainstorm then fetch. I'm not going to fetch away 1 land, so... Obviously I should have like not put a land last turn and fetched last turn, but... Oopsie. Cryptic Command, bounce Teferi. So it means they probably have some sort of counterspell in their hand. Alright, let's brainstorm. Okay. Let's put back some lands. Play land. Play Teferi and see what's up. Right? Yeah. Let's play Stoneforge Mystic too, so... Mystical Dispute. Do they have 2 Mystical Disputes? I'm paying, so... They have 2 disputes means they have nothing else, so... This is their last card in hand? Sure. Oh, no, Rebuke. Alright, sure. So they still have nothing. So again, even though we like lost the fight for Teferi, we won the war here, because we still have Jace in play and a full hand, and they have no cards in hand, so... Mystic Sanctuary, and I put Cryptic on top, which is fine. I have no problem with him drawing that card next turn. Brainstorm. Put back Jace land. Guess we'll Stoneforge. We can actually go for the sword and just cast it here. It's kind of dope. Let's just do that. Put on the Ice-Fang, attack, untap all of our lands, have Mana Lake Cryptic up. Part of the allure of having Ice-Fang in this deck is that the random body matters a lot more than it does when you don't have equipment, because Ice-Fang can be a little underwhelming sometimes if they're not attacking into you often. That was dope. That was a dope match. All right. I'm curious how many viewers we lost after that game 1 or like, forget this. Or even that game 2, we mulliganed to 4. That was a quite the first match. Quite the first match. Deck seems cool so far. Deck definitely seems cool. The ability to play kind of the control game, but also have some threats. A lot of good 2-for-1s. A lot of good velocity too. Just Astrolabe, Opt, Coatl, Euro. Just cards kind of just going and going and going. Teferi. All right, round 2. On the play, sure. It's kind of a weird hand, but I suppose they're gonna play tap land. I doubt they could play a 2-mana spell on turn 1, but all right. So now the thing is, if we get a duel, our Ice-Fang is less likely to have Death Touch, but with Snow-Covered Island, it doesn't matter that much. So let's just get a Breeding Pool. Opts. Okay. So we can opt Spell Snare or Ice-Fang. Then we have Euro into Spell Snare. It's kind of cool. All right, some sort of blue-white mirror-y something. Ice-Fang, very nice in matchups like this too. Is Spell Snared it because, frankly, you get to clock your opponent, and that's pretty awesome. All right, so we're going to Euro and put an island for our own Spell Snare or Opt. It's pretty good. Spell Snare could also possibly defend our Jace. So might just be slamming Jace next turn. We'll see what they do. Field of Ruin. Opt. Bottom. Batterskull. I'm pretty happy with just jamming Jace here. And most counterspells that we counteract cost 2, so let's just do it. I do love me some Spell Snare, I'm not going to lie. I'm a big Spell Snare fan. Brainstorm. Put this Batterskull back in our deck. I guess. Honestly, none of these cards seem very good. Would I just like cast Batterskull? Probably not. Next turn, let's do this. Or we can play Euro, or we can play Teferi next turn. I mean, they're in a world of hurt. They got to deal with this Jace, so do they have their own Jace? No? Okay. And we could shuffle with our Field of Ruin just to, get a Jace going, but now they have Cryptic up, so if they were to cast a spell and they were to Cryptic counter bounce Jace, that would be pretty bad. We're going to start by brainstorming. Get 2 cards deeper. Force. That's actually pretty good. Let's put back Batterskull Path. And then cast Teferi and force their Cryptic. They're going to try and snap Mana Leak. All right, so you guys obviously can't force the Mana Leak, but that's kind of awkward because now there's a creature in play. We might need to actually bounce it with Teferi, which is kind of gross, but wait, what? I guess we have a mana to play Mana Leak. So yeah, okay. That's a thing. Where'd I put that Path? Hopefully it's my top card. I believe I put Path Batterskull, so obviously not going to cast Mana Leak to my 3 open mana. Same thing as so. We were playing around Cryptic, hopefully, but they're just going to raw dog 2 snaps. And ideally, we are going to bounce one with Teferi and then draw Path and Path the other one. Keep our Jace and Teferi alive. With the ability to force something if super necessary. but they are just hanging out at the moment. So yep. That Mana Leak has double flashback. Alright, there's our path. Excellent. And we just say go. Obviously, pathing a Snapcaster Mage is not ideal, but protecting our Planeswalkers is pretty desirable. So and this game is over. Raw Dog Snapcaster Mage again, sure. And now we might just be playing Batterskull. Let's brainstorm. So if we play the Euro, we can just path it pretty easily. Ice-Fang's actually also awesome. Okay, that's much better. Yeah, we're cooking with gas here. We're just in amazing shape. Put back Batterskull, I guess, Force. Play land, untapped, say go. Attack Teferi, put in the old Ice-Fang. Alright, yeah. So, pretty sweet. Game won single-handedly by Spell Snare. Because Spell Snare is the bomb. There's just certain blue cards that I just can't get away from when I play these blue decks. I always like to have at least one Spell Snare in my main deck. Always going to have one Explosives in my sideboard. They're a little narrow, but the effects they can have on the game are just astounding. So, Dispute. Veils. And the question is, do you want Ashiok also? Or Cutting Verdict? We're going to shave like a path or two. That might actually just be it. We've got most stuff we want already. We've got our Teferis, our Stoneforges are great, obviously. Ice-Fangs are surprisingly good. This is fun. Ashiok's like okay. Honestly, decking them is not an unreal thing. And then turns off Mystic Sanctuary and fetches. But they're just playing blue-white. It doesn't turn off Euro or anything. Honestly, our Euros aren't very good, but we can keep them honest. Tax their paths a little bit. Stoneforge should be excellent against them. It's good. Not great. It's good. Certainly a spell snareable hand, if I ever saw one. Put him mulligans to 6. Celestial Colonnade. Old school. Mystical Dispute. Okay. Not too shabby. So we'll get ourselves Temple Guard. And then I think we're going to untap. See if we draw a land or not. If we don't draw a land here, all right, we did draw a land, which is excellent. So now we're just going to play land, say go. Leave up Leak, and then have Ice-Fang end step, and then we get to go Mystic with Dispute up. They don't have any end of turn threats like we do with the Coatls and stuff. And Coatl is surprisingly relevant. It just pokes in. You know, it can pressure those Planeswalkers, it can block the random Snapcasters, defend our Planeswalkers, just surprisingly very good. Spell Snare again. Veil of Summer. Okay. We're going to Stoneforge here. I guess worst case scenario, they counter it, we fight back, and then they cast Teferi and bounce it. That'd be pretty gross, but alright, we're just going to take the Veil of Summer, take our 2-for-1. Alright, please God, don't play Teferi. We'll get Batterskull. We don't have enough mana to play Sword, I think, effectively yet. Don't Teferi me. That's all I ask. Literally anything but Teferi. Thank God. And we drew a land. Alright, yeah, this is just golden. You have 3 cards in hand. End step field to roam my white source. I mean, I'm pretty happy to just put in my Batterskull here. Float a white. Let it resolve. I get planes. And then now we have Leak and Dispute or Snare up, so it's a living weapon. Opt, you got it, my friend. I guess we can't Mystic Sanctuary. If I got an island, yeah, I should have gotten. No, because I don't have enemy white. Yeah, I guess this is fine. We're gonna leave it in play though, because I draw a land, so I can possibly Mystic Sanctuary. Life doesn't really matter, so. Cryptic Command. I should have played this first. I don't even play this actually. We have 7 counterspells in our hand, just keep attacking. It's just a 3-turn clock. They have more mana than us, so. End step. Cryptic Command. Return Germ. Draw a card. I guess disputing or leaking this denies them a card. I think we're going to dispute here. Dispute's also getting worse as the game goes on. We have a lot of mana leak effects anyway. Just keep the pressure on. Kind of a weird play, but would have rather mana leaked it, but can't guarantee that our other cards be good enough, so untap. We drew a land, which is tight. Teferi, Time, Raveler. So 2 mana available. We're gonna mana leak this. We could like Cryptic and try and Spell Snare, but I think mana leak is fine. They could have like double Dispel or something and screw us up. Dovin's Veto, sure. And now we get to mana leak again. I'm gonna get a Hallowed Fountain. I guess I got like not shocked, and then just got Mystic Sanctuary, but that's the game. All right, sweet. So yeah, so you saw there, The green gave us a huge edge in this sort of like pseudo mirror. Obviously, they were probably not playing Stoneforges, but Ice-Fang being able to poke, Stoneforge being an early threat, all pretty awesome stuff. All right, round 3. Pretty good run so far. Opponent's going first. And it's pretty reasonable. We can keep this. Not great in the draw, but a lot of islands in Modern currently. Or not. Alright, so Cumen is some sort of Merfolk deck. Okay. That's certainly interesting for us. Only have 1 verdict. You've also drawn 2 lands in a row. It's not very good. Yeah, I mean, this could be a tough game for us. Drawing 2 lands in a row and not having a great hand against a pretty aggressive start on the draw, another land in a row, might spell doom for us, honestly. We'll play fetch land here in case they don't play a mana leakable spell. We can opt to get a tap land. Only have 1 verdict in the main. I mean, Stoneforge should be very good against them, but unfortunately our hand here is just pretty poor. We'll get a forest here. Gonna need to draw a spell sooner rather than later. Whether it's a Path to Exile or a Supreme Verdict, Stoneforge Mystic. Stoneforge's not even that good, I guess, because they have Lord of Atlantis. We have islands, obviously, so that could be worse. Certainly. Not quite there yet on cards in the graveyard, but we're not that far, honestly, either. Yeah, let's play Euro. Play Euro. Trigger it. We drew a Path to Exile. That's pretty good. And the question is, when do we want to use this Path? Probably on, I mean, I don't know if they're playing counterspells or not. Pathing their Lord of Atlantis is very, very good. Let's play the Snow-Covered Island. Let's just say go. I'm pretty sure we're going to path the Lord. We'll see what they do. If they're playing some sort of Spell Pierce, you know, alright. Another Lord. Alright, so this saves us 3 life. We go to 11. We now have 2 more cards for Euro. And there they are. Alright, so let's play. I guess we know we're fetching. Might as well fetch first and then opt. Maybe not. Let's just opt. So opt is card number 4. Fetch land's card number 5. I think they have Force of Negation, and they're deciding if they want to counter this or not. It would actually probably win them the game if they do. But that would be so next level. It would actually be unbelievable. Because we have this and the fetch land for our Euro. If they exile this, we can't Euro this turn. We'll have to flood. We'll have to Field of Ruin, I guess. Okay, they allowed it, and it's also a good one. All right, we're gonna top this. We're not gonna cast it. We're gonna Euro. Also, we're if that was a bathroom break or it was a possible Force of Negation. We're gonna get Just snow-covered island. We're going to make green, green, blue, blue. Cast our Euro, shipping everything. And now you get to resolve Euro. Ooh, we drew an Astrolabe. That's fun. Play Hallowed Fountain tapped. You go up to 13. And now their attacks aren't as good. Obviously, once upon a time, sure. They put an island in their hand, sure. They have another lord. Petty theft. Okay, that's fine. It's not ideal, but it's fine. So we have 3 for Euro, 3 for Teferi, 1 for Labe. Let's start with Astrolabe and just see what happens. Still kind of feeling this this Force of Negation being a possibility. That's pretty good. So now we're going to play Euro and Stoneforge Mystic. We're not going to play Teferi because it's possibly forcible, and getting these 2 cards in play is much better. So let's Euro. Trigger these again. Ice-Fang Coatl, also good. I have not played a land yet. So being able to Ice-Fang Coatl and Stoneforge Mystic is pretty good. So we're going to put in Field of Ruin and then put in Flooded Strand. We'll cast Stoneforge Mystic and have Ice-Fang ready to go. And get Batterskull and say go. They would need another Lord to push through this Lord of Atlantis. And they don't seem to have it. Go to 10. Play Ice-Fang. Despite destroying a good amount of lands here. Alright, so they have a Merfolk Trickster. That's fine. Go 5. Another Ice-Fang. So we just need to not get island walked here, basically. We could put in Batterskull and equip it to Ice-Fang. It's 2 to put in, 5 to equip, 2 left over. If they have another Brazen Bar or the Trickster, we're dead. If they have that, we're probably dead anyway. Otherwise, Teferi Bounce Lord does not save us. Let's replay it. Yeah, I think we have to just go for the Ice-Fang lifelink attack here. 2, 5, and 2. I mean, they do have probably all spells in their hand. I guess... Yeah, I don't think anything else matters, unfortunately. Alright. Godspeed you, Ice-Fang Coatl. We get to attack with it. Ooh. We've made connection. I suppose 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. A Lord still kills us, but... Alright. I mean, our hand was pretty bad. We were still in this game. So that's fine. Take 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. Given how poor our hand was and how little we did this game, not too upset about it. They had the proper interaction points. But once we get sideboard, and also, yeah, we know what we're playing against, we don't keep a hand that doesn't do anything, I think we'll be okay. Alright, so we get to bring in Explosives, Verdict, Timely, Dispute, Veil of Summer, maybe. We will see on that one. We get to cut our Force of Negations. I'd say Cryptic Command and Jace the Mind Sculptor both aren't great. Jace the Mind Sculptor being probably the worst of the two. And then do we want Veil of Summer? I feel like we probably do. They can counter like a Merfolk Trickster and stuff too. Still draw a card. It's just cheap. Want to lower the curve as much as possible. Up the Cryptic Commands. I'm pretty happy with this. Get to lower the curve. Maybe also have 3 Wrath effects as opposed to 1. All right, again, our hand was very bad that game. We definitely drew pretty poorly out of it on the draw. I think if anything goes, if we're on the play of that game, we draw one more spell that game, things probably turn out fine for us. But all right, we got a path. We're gonna keep. I play. Our mana is a little bit awkward. Like to get either a Breeding Pool or a Hallowed Fountain. Might not cast Opt on turn 1. I might wait. Does help find Stoneforge possibly, but we're taking the time. While waiting for our opponent, I want to remind everyone there's a companion article to this video on CoolStuffInc.com proper. I do a written article. It's a full-length written article every Friday. Every Monday, I do my video article where I have a shorter article that's a companion piece to this video you see here. So if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hop on over to Cool Stuff proper. Check out the article. Appreciate that. Playing Delta first, we're likely to get an island or a tap land. These can get better basics later. This is the worst fetch land in our deck. Alright, so I think I'm actually pretty happy just getting a duel here and holding on to Opt. I think we're going to get Hallowed Fountain. And then just kind of like chill. Yeah, let's play another. Let's play lands they go, and we can Opt fetch or Mana Leak, whatever they do. Definitely a weird tension between wanting to get snow lands for Ice-Fang. So not necessarily needing to get duels, but no Ice-Fangs yet, of course. Not really sure what our opponent's doing. I mean, while you're on CoolStuffInc.com, make sure you use promo code JIM5 while you're shopping. CoolStuffInc.com is best spot to get all your gaming supplies. Card games, board games, miniatures, Magic, of course, singles, booster packs. It's all on there. CoolStuffInc.com. You use promo code Jim5 to get 5% off your order. You go buy your ops and your mana leaks. Make sure you get the Stronghold mana leak and the Invasion opt, of course, for style points. Excuse me. Let's go Rangers, I guess. Recording this on Friday. And last night, Mika Zibanejad, who is the namesake of my hamster Zibby, scored 5 goals. He had 4 goals, and then the game-winning goal in overtime. It's the first time a New York Ranger has scored 5 goals in a game in, I don't know, for almost 40 years. It's a pretty awesome game. Yeah, crack that fetch land. Breeding Pool, Sanctum, Mana Leak. Silvergill Adepts revealing Silvergill Adepts. I mean, this is probably their best card against us. So let's nix that one before we get started. And I guess our opponent's being rude and playing two matches at once. That is my guess here. So we're gonna get Island here, and I'm pretty sure our Misty Rainforest is going to get a Temple Garden. So we have double white for Wrath, we have no planes in play for Euro. Gives us a green source. Explosives also ain't bad. I think we're going to play main phase op, though, to look for Stoneforge Mystic. So, Spell Snare. That's really good. We'll keep that. All right, keep Spell Snare. Being able to Spell Snare a Silvergill Adept is fantastic. Silvergill is like the best card in Merfolk by 1,000 miles. It's a card that actually is more than just a crappy bear, but pumps things. It allows them some velocity and card advantage. An Aether Vial? Sure. And they're just not going to play anything. Sure. I think I'm pretty cool just casting Sword next turn with Spell Snare up. Hopefully enticing them to just cast their Silvergill Adepts. Alright, so we're going to get our Temple Garden. Another Misty. They can get a Mystic Sanctuary, possibly. Just run the sword out there. Makes any Ice-Fang off the top really, really good. Or Snapcaster Mage, I suppose. So they're going to Force Negation my sword. So they're turning my sword into a Himbatorok. I am totally cool with that. So that got rid of a Master of the Pearl Trident, which is cool. And they're going to end step Merfolk Trickster. Sure. We have Path and Explosives this game, so Relic of Progenitus. Sure. And so their only card in hand is the Silver Go up now. So we're pretty happy to pop his Explosives on 1, I think. Maybe not, actually, because the Relic's kind of irrelevant. Because we kill the Vial, then they have to cast Silver Go. We can Spell Snare it, which is pretty good, so... Our graveyard's not that important. We only have 2 Euro and 2 Snapcaster Mage. Everything else is kind of irrelevant. So the Relic is not really that good. There's Ice-Fang. Man, that'd have been good with our... would have been good with our Swordy. So Explosives on 1 and pop. And then the Ice-Fang takes care of the Trickster. Sure. Or you just play Explosives on 2. Alright. I don't love it, but we're going to do it. We'll do it in their upkeep in response to their Vial. Doing it then so they have to waste the mana to draw a card off Relic. Sacking Waterlogged Grove, sure. Upkeep. Vial on the stack. Blow it up. They'll sack the Relic in response, which is fine. So their hand is a little fuller than it was before, obviously, but got a land, Trickster. Spell Snare, there's silver. They got another Silver Go? That's a pretty big deal. Spell Snare that. I mean, not much Mystic Sanctuary back to Spell Snare, honestly. Spell Snare is just like so good against them anyway. So Ice-Fang's a nice 2-for-1 on the Trickster. I only have 2 snow permanents. I screwed up. I forgot we weren't fetching a basic. Alright, that's fine. We're not going to die to 1 Merfolk Trickster. We still have a path in our hand anyway, so... Lander spell. Cool. Cool. Might as well hold the fetch, I guess. So just say go. Silvergill revealing Lord of Atlantis. We'll Spell Snare that. We'll Path the Lord, block the Trickster, and just need to draw a spell. Op's a spell. Mystical Dispute's also a spell. I think that's not really where we're at anymore. They have a lot of lands in play. All of our cards cost 2. Sure. They have 2 cards in hand. They have 3. One's Lord of Atlantis. They play Lord. That's fine. We're also about to have a lot more lands because these paths to the Mystical Dispute is really bad. A hard cast a Force. Let's do it again. So we're going to end up at 10 life with, they have 1 card in hand. Our card quality is much higher and they're tapped out. Big spell. Where's that last turn? You know, that'd have been great last turn. Can trip if we feel desperate. So, all right. Given they brought in relics, I might cut like a euro. We'll see. That was a really good draw. We're gonna main phase this because we could just draw like a Teferi or something, or a Stoneforge Mystic. Hello. Get the old Batterskull. We should have Breeding Pool in our deck, so Veil of Summer's, I guess, available. It's not the most important thing in the world, but end step Once Upon a Time, sure. We're gonna fetch. We're gonna get a Breeding Pool tapped, so we have the extra green mana. For Veil, Veil could protect our Batterskull against like Trickster and stuff like that. Ice-Fang's pretty good too. Alright, so we can send in the Ice-Fang. Now I've got basically it all, as they say. Mute of Alt. And opponent concedes. Fantastic. Yeah, I think if we draw a good mix of spells, we should be in pretty good shape here. I think that our deck just lines up pretty well against theirs, except for removal spells and Stoneforge Mystic and so on and so forth. Our average card quality is much higher. Although with them bringing in so many relics, I do want to cut a little bit of my graveyard stuff. I don't think Jace is actually that bad. And if Euro sticks, it is really good. They will struggle to remove it. They can keep casting it, obviously, but they keep relicking. Snapcaster's fine. We can find a way to reuse Snapcaster, but Euro's pretty awkward. We're going to shave a Euro for a Jace. Just leave one of each, a little hedge. Maybe second Jace is better than Euro, but I don't know. I'm not sure. The relic certainly didn't do much that game. Alright, so pretty awkward hand. Opponent mulligans to 6. We're going to keep. Opponent mulligan, and we have Mana Leak and Ice-Fang. And a Stoneforge is obviously great too. We should draw a white land on the draw with a cantrip, you know, so not asking too much of us. We also just draw an Astrolabe or an Opt. We've already got Mana Leak, we've already got Ice-Fang, so we also have Snap Path, so 1 plains in our hand is phenomenal. So you've got the Vial. Obviously makes the Mana Leak a little worse, but... And there's your white source. Fantastic. So we play this, and we'll get Hallowed Fountain tapped. Definitely question if we're going to play Stoneforge or not. I think we are. We get Mana Leaks. Not great in the face of Aether Vial. They're not going to do anything. Interesting. Verdict's also not bad. We can't cast it yet, but it's a very powerful effect. I'm just gonna play Stoneforge here. They could maybe counter it or something, but you're gonna deprive. It's unexpected. Sure. And violin a Jimenez speaker. Interesting. Definitely warrant. There are not many counter spells in the format that can counter my Stoneforge there that they would actually have in their deck. Maybe like Mana Leak, but I mean now our verdict is, good for takeoff, assuming we can draw a white source. There it is. Okay, that feels pretty good. Now you should draw any other land. Just like that. And take a hit here. Obviously the vial's a little annoying, so you can end step something, but so they have 3 cards in hand. Another land. I'm gonna fire in my Ice-Fang here and make them react to it. If it blocks and kills the Lord, it's also great, but to make them do something. And then hopefully walk into his wrath. Trickster. Petty Theft. I mean, it's fine by me. Waste their mana, draws a card. Teferi, okay. Another, so now they're out. They got nothing left. Yeah. Let's wrath it up. It's a pretty healthy 11 life. Ice-Fang deals a Brazen Borrower. Bounce the vial. One Lord of Atlantis. Sure. Yeah, so it feels like a pretty reasonable matchup, as I said. Game 1 was a little bit of an aberration. Vial goes to 2. Replay Vial, sure. Will they attack into my Ice-Fang? They're certainly having pause here. And if so, do they attack me or Teferi? Either feels like a losing proposition. Nothing. Sure. I mean, now I don't know what they do, honestly. Mystic Sanctuary can get back Verdict if we need it, but not really there yet. I guess we're playing Field of Ruin just to give us the option to kill like a something or other. I don't even know. Feels like we can't ever lose, honestly. So we're not sure what sort of tragedy could befall us here. With Path, Snap, Mana Leak, Mystic Sanctuary, Teferi, Ice-Fang in play, and they have nothing going on. Obviously, our Mana Leak's not very good. They have 2 vials, but Leak can counter the Brazen Borrower, so they're going to dismember my Ice-Fang Coatl. So I'm totally cool Mana Leaking this, because Mana Leak is not going to hit much else anyway, so turns our Mana Leak into a Boros Charm, which is pretty cool. And there's a scoop. Cool. Writing on the wall. Merfolk. It's cool. It's a fun deck. Has not been super effective in Modern in a very long time. The card quality is just too low. So we're 3-0. And deck is certainly cooking. Deck has felt pretty awesome so far. Great mix of card advantage, control elements, pressure, dumb busted cards printed in 2020 and 2019. How many cards of this deck are new, right? Astrolabe, Ice-Fang, Force of Negation, Teferi, Euro, Mystic Sanctuary, Veil of Summer, Ashiok, Mystical Dispute. You know, like what? A third of this deck was printed in the last year in a 10-year-old format. It's pretty wild. Going first. Yeah, looks great. Mana's a little awkward, but Astrolabe's here to put it together. One of the concerns of the deck a little bit is that it can have some awkward mana draws. The games it does not draw Astrolabe, but obviously without Astrolabe, this is a Temple Garden, Field of Ruin, Island, Cryptic Command hand, but we drew a blue source anyway, so a lot of islands. A lot of islands. Okay, pretty sweet. We're gonna hold our island. Hold our fetch land. Could have played Field of Ruin, but we'd be exposing it. I just doubt life is gonna matter at all, so. Definitely love Ice-Fang. I'm a big Ice-Fang fan. Alright, just so you go here. Get Ice-Fang again. Guess we're shields down. Ah. Well, they have their own Ice-Fang, sure. So, looking like a true mirror. Probably. Alright, it's Ice-Fang first. Let's see if we draw an Opt or not. Nope. Let's get ourselves a Hallowed Fountain. Jace the Mind Sculptor is not bad, but we're in no rush, I don't think. We currently have the board. We have the Ice-Fang advantage, 2-1. Prismatic Vista, interesting. And they're just going to say go. So we'll just fetch another. Let's get all the duels out. Now we have all of our islands for Mystic Sanctuary. And no cards in the graveyard yet, obviously, but. Hello. Make it 3. Maybe gonna play the fetch there. I had Mystic Sanctuary available. I doubt we're casting Cryptic this turn, but Field of Ruining them. Any value? Minor value, not really. They each get a Farce if they wanted. They will Astrolabe anyway. We get to shuffle, put a card in our graveyard. All not really super relevant things. Yeah, I'll just cast our Ice-Fang. Snapcaster Mage, sure. One of the nice things too, of course, is that the Ice-Fangs help make you land drops. They're just a devastating clock, as you can clearly see. And with 2 Ice-Fangs in play, it puts us in a spot where we just don't have to do anything. We can just sit here and keep attacking for 2 and make them make the first move, which is obviously the ideal scenario in a control-y mirror. Although we just drew a Stoneforge Mystic. Both have 7 cards in hand. We're just going to say go. They're 10. Would like them to make the first move. This is a big reason why you want opt in your deck, because you want the ability to be able to opt and snap and stuff. All right, so we'll fire off Cryptic here and give it a shot. They'll probably counter back. If it's a Cryptic, we can mana leak it. And they have Force of Negation. So we're just going to mana leak the Force of Negation. Because I can't Sanctuary now. But I couldn't Sanctuary anyway, so it's fine, I guess. There's no way to, like, fetch Sanctuary mana leak and then take the mana leak because you got to choose your target when it comes into play, so... They win the counter war here. It's fine. We have Jace. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Wow. That's just the game. The game's got to be over now. I mean, they don't have a counter to defend there. I feel like I should just be jamming everything here. You just brainstorm. Stoneforge. So leaving up Snap Cryptic is like okay, but like, what are we worried about them resolving? I suppose if they have a Supreme Verdict, that's like the worst case scenario, but we have the Jace also, so yeah, we're showing Jace. And we're going to brainstorm first. Might be an argument towards leaving the Batterskull in our hand, but probably not. Force is pretty good too. All right, let's ship Batterskull and the Verdict. Then we'll Stoneforge. There's definitely an argument towards just getting the sword over the Batterskull, because the sword is pretty good. They've got to have Paths or Wraths and stuff in their hand, though. Which I guess is still pretty good for us. Sword is a little more expensive to equip. Yeah, we'll just get Batterskull. We have the other Stoneforge too, so... And we can Mystic Sanctuary the Cryptic back on top of our deck. They're going to Mystic Sanctuary Force Negation and put it on top. They're going to play an Astrolabe. It's fine. Draw the Force Negation. They're going to play Teferi Time Raveler. So we're going to force, they're going to force back. And they're going to have a Teferi for a little bit, which is fine. We're going to pitch probably our Snapcaster. I think resolving our own Teferi is desirable. So that's gone. That resolves. We'll see what they want to do with it. They're going to plus. Stoneforge, Sword, Equip, Attack. So we get to just sword them this turn. And then play Teferi with Cryptic up. I guess we sword if we attack the Teferi, then we don't untap. So... I mean, either way, we're resolving our own Teferi. They're obviously getting back Cryptic Command when they have Teferi and Blaze irrelevant, so maybe I should not have fetched here. Yeah, that was actually pretty dumb, I think. I should have just held it. I just made the error in thinking that we could sword, attack for 5, untap our lands, and kill Teferi, but we have to attack Teferi with the sword, not them. So we'll just get an island. That was a mistake on my part. So untap. Or we could just draw the sword. That works too, I guess. Let's brainstorm. That's all pretty good. Put back Batterskull Path. Play Teferi, sword, equip, attack, untap. We'll poke their Teferi for 2, hit them for 3. Mystic Sanctuary. We actually Mystic Sanctuary back Cryptic Command, bounce their Teferi, have Force up. We can do a lot of stuff here. A lot of stuff. All right, let's white, colorless, blue, Teferi. All right, so that's just big game. So now we can just do everything unmolested. We're going to Mystic Sanctuary back the Cryptic to the top of our deck. We're going to play Sword of Feast and Famine. We're going to equip it to the Ice-Fang. We're going to attack them. Teferi. We're going to have them discard, untap all of our lands. And now we can Cryptic. I'm sorry, we can Astrolabe. We can also just draw a Teferi. Yeah, I like that better, actually. Draw a Teferi. Blue, blue. Why did I attack Teferi? I literally knew I was doing all this. I'm so stupid. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm dumb. I thought the process of like attacking Teferi, I was like, no wait, I'm gonna Cryptic it. I should like them, and then I just didn't do it. That's whatever. It's fine. Bounce Teferi, draw. Play Astrolabe. Draw. New Teferi, sure. And then we have Force of Negation up too. So they can Wrath us. It's whatever. Play Teferi. We're going to force it. If they have Wrath, it's whatever. We should have Jace and Teferi and Stoneforge and Sword and everything. So, and they're going to scoop. Pack it up. So it should be a 3. Whatever. Oopsie. So not an exact mirror. They're playing Prismatic Vista. Deck seems a little bit different than ours, but pretty similar. And we drew more Ice-Fangs. And Ice-Fangs are sweet, basically. Don't really have any cool tech for the mirror. No, like Geist Saint Trap and like that. We got Veil of Summer, obviously. Mystical Dispute. Path to Exile is awkward. Don't want to path a Stoneforge on turn 2. We don't have to, but we often have to. Also, no disenchant effects, which could be an oversight. I cut the Verdict. Euro also doesn't seem particularly great. Against paths and stuff, but and then Mana Leak is not great either. Especially on the draw where it can't really hit stuff. Spell Snare is like really good. Spell Snare is the card that is definitely really good in a Mina Mirror like this. Force of Negation is not great. It's okay. We can shave one of those, I guess. Maybe we'll shave a Field of Ruin too. We're on the draw. Doesn't really do anything against them. On the draw, 2 Ops, 4 Laves, and 4 Ice-Fangs. We'll draw lands. I think that's fine. Don't think I want Ashiok, Stroke, Gust. Yeah. Not exactly sure. I do wish we had some sort of like, mirror breakery card, but Veil of Summer is pretty silly. Speak of the devil. Alright. Opt, Veil of Summer, and then Opt and Snap together is very good. Definitely very interested in that. Not so interested in Path to Exile, but, So they want Island Go. Do they have their own Opt? No? Okay. What do we got to fetch here? Probably... I think it's Hallowed Fountain. Play Opt. Delta. I mean, making land drops is pretty important. We already have 3, though. I'm going to bottom this. Okay. That's a really good one. That one is nice. Sure. We're just going to get a forest here. That's not a forest. They make the cards any smaller. Seriously. Like, any smaller? Alright, Drill Land is excellent. Spell Snare is excellent. Now the question is, do I want to trade Ice-Fangs? Or do I want to attack? I'm probably want to trade for 15 already. Let me just say go here. If they cast another Ice-Fang, things get pretty interesting. I think we're going to Spell Snare it. Even though Spell Snares are pretty good against them. We'll see what they do. Fetch a Duel. Okay. So we'll block here. Now, we could try and snap Opt, but we're going to wait till we have Veil of Summer up, I think. Astrolabe's also pretty good, but now I want to have the Summer up for the snap Opt. Let's see what they do here. Blue-white end step for Naked Snapcaster Mage. Yeah. I mean, sure. It's pretty aggressive. Pretty aggressive. They got 5 cards behind, now 6. I mean, we'll get our island here. Cast our own Snapcaster Mage, which obviously lines up against theirs really well. So our Snapcaster is a 2-for-1. Theirs is not. It's pretty obvious we have a Veil of Summer here, I think, but it's fine. Another land. I think I'm actually pretty okay with this. Mystic Sanctuary. That'll be useful in a little bit. It's a little awkward that we have it in our hand. We can't fetch it, but it's fine. Let's play our Astrolabe. Draw Force Negation. Not bad. Not bad. Just say go here. Feeling pretty ahead on cards. They got a little wild with their Snapcaster, so they're going to path my Snapcaster Mage, which I think is fine. I'll take my land here. And we're going to get probably a breeding pool with this Polluted Delta. So I guess we can get a Plains. Doesn't matter. Astrolabe and play. Who cares? Honestly. So they're banking on this this Snappy going coast to coast here. Field of Ruin, sure. I don't think we're pathing yet. I think we'll path now. So they can't mana leak it or dispute it, and we'll still get a breeding pool. Sure. Investing mana into a Snapcaster just to deal damage is pretty risky once it goes all the way, you know? I mean, now we can start trying to resolve the Teferi. We have Veil of Summer and Spell Snare and Force of Negation and Jace. So, like, got quite a bit going on here. I think we're gonna pop off with Teferi. I shouldn't have played the land. Maybe yeah, because I have Force and Veil. I was gonna Sanctuary back the Veil of Summer, but that's not what they do. They're gonna play Veil of Summer in response to our Teferi, which is draw a card, and their spells can't be countered. It's actually pretty interesting, but that's fun. We're not gonna counter this because this isn't. We can still Veil of Summer their Veil of Summer, or Veil of Summer their counter spell, which counters it without countering it. And they're going to play a Snapcaster Mage, which can't be countered. And they have a Veil of Summer, a Path to Exile, and an Ice-Fang. So this is going to be a can-tripping Snapcaster Mage, I guess, just offer Veil of Summer. Sure. But this does not have hexproof, although it can. They cast it again. I can resolve Jace here, too. Sure. So, we can resolve Jace as well. We can't bounce Snapcaster. We could just brainstorm with Jace and plus with Teferi. Then we're naked to whatever they can do. But what are they going to do, realistically? We have Force. We'll have a million cards. Yeah, that feels pretty good to me. Euro. Okay. Put back land. I play Lamister, right? Yeah. Plus this, and you may have your turn, my friend. Go nuts. If we force, we'll use the mana leak to pitch. All right. I mean, Stoneforge is good. Get Batterskull, sure. They're going to attack me. They are really aggressive. Well, this Euro is going to look really, really good. So, I mean, Euro, like play Euro, cast Euro, is certainly cold to a path. do need to deal with the board in some way. We could Mystic Sanctuary, the Path to Exile, bounce, I guess, Stoneforge Mystic, Spell Snare on the way back down. Pathing Snap is fine. Sorry, I should work all this out. Yes, it's fine. So let's start by brainstorming. Put back 2 fetch lands, I think. Drew a Path too. It's the card we want to put on top anyway. Yeah, put back 2 fetch lands. Play Mystic Sanctuary. Yes, put Path on top. Bounce Stoneforge Mystic. Play Euro. Put that in play. And say go. Yeah, feeling pretty good. We can path the Snap. Spell Snare of a Stoneforge. We have Leak, Force, and Veil as well. A lot of cards in hand, but other counter spells work, which is awesome. Five for Batterskull. So we can just mana leak here. And that's game. Cool. 4-0. 4-0, a little mirror action. Did our job of resolving our planeswalkers. Opponent played that game pretty aggressive. Their hand must have been pretty bad. They were just trying to cheese us out, I think, because they felt they were behind. Let's go for that 5-0. I haven't had a 5-0 video for a while. Let's do that. Let's do that. This, of course, is you're watching this on Monday, but I recorded this on Friday, and I am playing the Star City Regional Championship tomorrow. I am most likely bringing this deck. There's a slight chance I play just straight blue-white. Jerry Thompson posted a blue-white list in his article yesterday. But I do like the Ice-Fangs a lot, and the Euros, and the Veils. So having won these matches, we feel pretty good about things too. So probably playing this deck at the regionals. Might change a card or two here and there. I haven't really decided the minutia yet, but deck seems pretty good. Modern's getting a little more fair, it feels like. These decks seem pretty good against the Titan decks. And they just seem pretty good in general. So let's try and get that 5-0. See if we can do it. From an inauspicious beginning of losing game 1 on a multi-5 and then mulling to 4 in game 2 to 4 match wins in a row. Let's see if we can close it out. Going first. Win and die rolls. All right. Not keeping, though. Not keeping. Oh, this again, huh? We end as we begin. All right, we're going to keep. We're on the play. Realistically, I don't think our Snapcaster Mage is very good. Snap's not amazing in this deck. There aren't that many cheap spells. Astrolabe fills that role, obviously, and Snap can't flash that back. Keeping this third land, though, kind of sucks, too. I'm going to ship Land Path. Just going to hope his Spell Snare is good, basically. Another blue matchup? Jeez. Just never ends. All right, now I want that land back, obviously, but... Spell Snare all day. The more popular his deck gets, the more Spell Snares you want. Untap fetch land. Damn it. Alright, well, that's not good. I mean, that, as they say it, is probably the game, unfortunately. Not a great multi-5 for us. Bounce that. Teferi goes to 1. Oh, we drew our own land. All right. We Hallowed Fountain or Temple Garden here. Getting planes makes Euro pretty bad. Not that Euro's great anyway, but let's get Hallowed Fountain. Alright, so we have our own Teferi, which is nice. We're going to minus just to draw. Alright, I mean, in theory, we can resolve Jace next turn. Ice-Fang, sure. Alright, I mean, can't complain too much here. We'll brainstorm. Ice-Fang is great. Put back... I mean, the Force of Negation is obviously dead as long as Teferi's in play, and I don't think we're removing Teferi basically ever, so just ship the Force. And hope they don't have land sword, I guess. Jace is impressed because we've been playing all these blue mirrors where it's like really, really good. Doesn't look very good against like Tron or stuff like that, but it has certainly impressed in these matchups. But against islands every round, even though one was Merfolk, not like a blue deck, but Ice-Fang number 2. Can we find that Supreme Verdict? That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, let's find the Supreme Verdict. Let's do it. Only got one, but we have Path and Ice-Fang. They're playing Sword of Fire and Ice. We are not playing that card. That card's not bad. All right. I guess we can't Path it over the Sword Save Teferi in play. This is actually kind of awkward. Sword of Fire and Ice ain't bad with Teferi. Teferi's kind of cool with swords anyway, so you just get to like equip without fear of reprisal. Man, I don't want to bounce into things I haven't played. Thanks for just brainstorming. Big brainstorm here. Big Supreme Verdict off the top. No. Yeah, I think this Sword of Fire and Ice is just gonna wreck our day. Realistically. Put back. Put back Force. I guess Island? I guess we could Path, Snap, Path. And they still get us. So our Ice-Fangs can't block the sorted creatures, obviously, which is the problem. Whatever we're doing, we gotta main phase it, so I guess we're just doing stuff. Let's get Temple Garden, I guess. Astrolabe. Alright, I guess we're pathing Stoneforge. Saves them a mana. You just get a mana back, though. Attack for 3. Deal 2 to something. That unlocks their Teferi. Yeah, I think we're in big trouble here. Sword of Fire and Ice seems pretty good. We aren't playing that one. Maybe we should be. At least somewhere in the deck. Yeah, I mean, giving them a land seems really bad, so I guess we're just going to say go. I wonder if they're playing Sword of Fire and Ice instead of Sword of Feast and Famine? Or in addition to. Playing 3 equipments feels like a lot. Don't really necessarily want to draw them naturally. I think playing a Knight of Autumn on the board could be pretty cool. Knight of Autumn fills a few roles. It's good against burn. Also being good against stuff like good against the mirror. We don't really have a disenchant in our board, so. Alright, they're going to attack me and probably shock the Teferi. Sword of Fire and Ice can shock Planeswalkers, any target, so they can kill that, draw a card. Still have Jace in play, which is a minor victory, but I'm not really sure what we can do with this sword, honestly. Aside from just like kill all their creatures, which is not, necessarily a reasonable thing. Alright, let's brainstorm. Force of Negation, Euro. Euro does not seem particularly great against them. Obviously, the Force is totally dead, so ship that. I guess we're going to keep the Euro and ship the Field of Ruin. Field of Ruin's pretty bad. Alright, and I guess we're just crafting a fetch and just trying to cast Astrolabe and just find something. I don't really know. We can path snap path, I guess. We attack Teferi. We're also dying. Stoneforge, it's not bad. Alright, let's attack Teferi. Alright, so we're going to Euro Stoneforge path the thing on it, make them re-equip, I guess. It's not ideal, but wait. Now they also have Force available too, which is kind of a problem. And just counter spells in general. Start Teferi's gone, which sucks a little bit, but and our Stoneforge, I mean, I guess sort of Feast and Famine is where we're at. I don't think Batterskull matters that much right now. So get our sword and just say go. Cost them mana to equip, obviously, but still have 7 cards in hand. I think we're, I don't know, we're in like okay shape. The sword's still pretty brutal. Euro can gain life too, so as far as getting raced goes, because the sword does race pretty well. Uh-oh. That can't be good. They have double sword. Yeah. I mean, if you want to win the mirror, more swords is definitely better. Our Jace is still going to be alive. So pro blue, black, red, green. We can bath it. They're also going to untap all of our lands too, though. And it probably have counter spells up. So not looking great for us. They're going to kill my Stoneforge Mystic? Sure. So 3, 2. They just so many cards in their hand. They've shot so many extra cards off of the Ice-Fangs and the swords. They've hit with Sword of Fire and Ice twice, which is pretty, it's hard to come back from that usually. All right. I guess that's a start. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. We need 8 mana, so let's brainstorm. Oh, I knew I should have kept that land. I just figured we would definitely draw a land in our top 4 cards, so I kept the Snapcaster. I should have kept the land instead. Oh, no. Now we can't do everything we want to do. I guess we're probably just super dead this game anyway. I don't think it really matters. They just have 7 cards. They have like 9 counter spells in their hand. Ship. Snap. Euro, I guess. Snap. Path. Teferi. But I wanted to Sword of Feast and Famine. That's never going to work out either, though. I wanted to Teferi, Sword, Equip, Attack. But we were 1 land short. Alright, whatever. Let's cast Teferi. Which resolves, we can just bounce Stoneforge Mystic and then snap Path the Ice-Fang. And then we're like safe from its axe for a little bit. But yeah, it's probably not resolving. So Archmage's Charm, that's fine. However fine can be. Okay. Didn't think that would resolve. Sure. They still just pants up their Stoneforge Mystic and come get us. Temple Garden Shock? They have a snap. They have a snap. We're dead. They can't figure out how to work their Astrolabes. Vendilion Click. Okay, that kills us. So they are much more prepared for the mirror than we are. They have Click also. Click seems very good in the mirror. Click and Sword of Fire and Ice. Okay. Both cards seem excellent. Alright, so bring in Dispute into Veils. I think that's it. Cut the Verdict. A Force. I think cutting a land is fine. I know making land drops is important, but Field of Ruin's like half a land. Yeah. We're bringing in three one mana spells also, so definitely interesting. Click and Sword of Fire and Ice. So they're playing both swords, man. They are playing 3 equipment, not 2. Which I guess informs them playing, makes Click better. With the 3rd sword, you definitely want more creatures in your deck, so there's like a chance they have Spell Queller too. Maybe they're not playing Euro. I'm not sure. Not sure. Deck hasn't been that popular. I think blue decks in general have been popular. Mystic Sanctuary in particular. Just Mystic Sanctuary in everything has been very popular. Whether it's Dimir Wurza, this deck, you know, this like Teamer decks, like the Teamer deck we played against, just all sorts of matters of Mystic Sanctuary plus Cryptic Command plus, you know, good blue cards, Force of Negation, pick your poison, you know. They are tanking about the sideboarding. I mean, I would assume if you had your deck so built well for the mirror in game 1, you'd have your sideboarding down. Like, unless they just have too many good cards, you know? All right, let's go first. All right. We should have saved Shade the Path, I think. Bottom log in 6. All right, don't Spell Snare me. You'll 2-drop on the play. It's also not blue, which is nice, so it can't be Mystical Disputed. The old Celestial Colonnade. We'll just get Island here. So, and we'll get Batterskull. Sword is great, but we only have 1 creature right now, so Force of Negation. It's not too bad. Not too bad. We're almost assuredly just putting Batterskull in. Because they have like Path into Teferi. We have Force though, so we're almost assuredly Batterskulling, so we're going to play Flooded Strand. I don't mind Field of Ruining this Colonnade at some point, but no Path. 2 Field of Ruins. Alright, put in Batterskull. Crack Flooded Strand, get Temple Garden? Ever need double white? Probably not. Maybe. Can't cast Cryptic, but I want to play on a field anyway, so... Yeah. I'd say this is going pretty good so far. So they're going to field my Temple Garden, which kind of makes me inclined to field their Colonnade. Let's float the mana. We're going to get a forest off of it. Couldn't be any smaller. And they're going to get a forest also. And then we're going to field this Colonnade and get an island. Now their mana is pretty wonky. Because if they have an Ice-Fang here, it's castable. Sure. That might have been wrong, I guess. I mean, it screws their mana up for sure, but that might have been bad to give them the Ice-Fang for free. I can path it if I have to. We'll see. Alright, well now their mana is perfect anyway, so this is fun. It's hard to mana screw the Astrolabe deck. Don't love this path, but we are definitely on the warpath here. Got a 3-turn clock, got some counter spells. Ice-Fang again? I guess we're just pathing it again. Alright, sure. Ice-Fang's so good. The old Path to Exile Mana Leak combo. It's a classic. They've got a full 7 cards and did nothing. Concerns me a little bit. Mana Lake Ice-Fang is fine. No problems there. Oh boy. Oh, we can't go for it. It's so tempting, but we can't go for it. Yeah, we'll leave it up for next turn, I think. These paths have definitely hurt. Giving them 2 extra lands really sucks. They just play 2 mana to draw a card and get a land. Vendilion Click. That's an interesting one. I feel we got a mana like this. Once I see our hand, we're pretty exposed. We have a force. We have a sword. This can block for a turn also. Yeah. Don't love it. Definitely don't love it. They got to force my mana leak. We're the aggro deck here. We've definitely thrown away a lot of resources to try and kill them, and it feels like it's sort of not working out. All right, so they're gonna force my mana leak. So now we're just like all in. All right, now we're just shoving the sword in play and saying a prayer. I think they want to take my force. They can take my force. Can't have my sword though. I should have waited for it to target me, I guess. But honestly, if they don't target me, I'm pretty happy because we have our own. We have a force. We want to have force up. They're ruining the tank, but we want to target here. I mean, targeting themselves means their hands are really bad. Doesn't make sense though, because they have missed land drops. And then, I mean, don't target us. We're pretty happy because we have the force, so we can defend against Jace or Teferi or whatever. They're targeting themselves. Wow, and they're going to reveal a mana leak and dump it. Wow, that's their third mana leak, and they're going to scoop. Wow. Oh, your hand must have been terrible. Oh, very unexpected things. All right. One game for all the marbles. I almost feel like explosive. Nah, everything costs 2. On the draw, 4 path is probably necessary because you got to deal with Stoneforge Mystic, so this seems fine. Let's draw Spell Snare, please. Let's draw Spell Snare, please. You love me a Spell Snare. Well, we draw Spell Snare, but our hand's pretty good. We're going to keep. It's a slugfest kind of hand. Ooh, they're going to Mystic Sanctuary? Sure. Didn't draw Spell Snare. Now, however, they got no Stoneforge Mystic. That's kind of cool. Let's get Hallowed Fountain. Now the question is, do I play my Stoneforge Mystic or just leave up Mana Leak? And obviously we draw Spell Snare. Okay, well, now we're going to wait a turn, so... Let's see what they do. I feel like they're going to wait too, so we can get a breeding pool. Turn 1, so they're... We only have one Mystic Sanctuary. We don't know how many they have. I mean, I would assume it's only one, but they have an Ice-Fang. It's tilt. Alright. Can't Spell Snare that and then have them to play Teferi, so... Pretty wild though. It feels like whoever draws more Ice-Fangs is just so favored. So they have Stoneforge plus... No, okay. They made Stoneforge plus Veil. That would be pretty awful for us. Well, we got a lot of Stoneforge Mystics, that's for sure. But what's it getting? That's the big question. Probably, I guess it's just Batterskull and make them bounce it. And the next one can just get a sword. Sword isn't threatening because it's like put it in and main phase equip it, and we're short on land, so Batterskull means we have a good end step threat. Sweet. We love that. Could not love that more. Sure. Don't love that because they have Sword of Fire and Ice in their deck, which is bad for us. Oh, they also got Batterskull. Interesting. Cryptic Command. I think we're just jamming all of our Stoneforges. I guess we only have 2 equipment to get, so it's not even that good. They have 4 cards in hand. Playing Teferi doesn't really do much and walks into Dispute anyway. Jace walks into Dispute, and Jace doesn't do much either. Yeah, we'll just play both Stoneforges, I guess. Leaving up Mana Leak, it's probably worthless because I don't know what we're mana leaking, honestly. There's really mana for Stoneforge Mystic, and I want to have 2 creatures in play, so just ship it, I guess. No 3rd equipment. That's bad. Alright, I think we're in trouble, and we're in trouble basically just because we don't have a way to deal with equipments, honestly. Astrolabe. Put a Batterskull and Sword, I guess, and just kind of try and do stuff next turn. Get Astrolabe and try and draw land here. So we're falling behind on mana. So their hand is Batterskull and Sword. They're going to Batterskull Sword us next turn, which is kind of gross. I'm going to try and draw land. This is a little greedy, but I think that we are behind and we need the velocity of making a land drop this turn to help us get back ahead. Oof. That's awkward. Okay, so they're not going for the equip, which is interesting. We could Batterskull in our Batterskull to block their Batterskull, but I don't think I like that. So I'd rather have a shot at getting them, but I guess we can't really get them anyway. We have Teferi to possibly bounce their Germ too. This is okay, sure. Alright, so they have a Colonnade as their land drop, which is pretty good because it's also just a threat. Put in Batterskull. Alright, so that's definitely not bad. Let's play Teferi. Hard cast Force of Negation. We cast Veil of Summer. Draw our own Force of Negation. It's pretty interesting. And bounce their Germ. Oh, duh, they can just put it back in play. Oh yeah, never mind. I couldn't see it behind the thing. Duh. We bounced the Germ at the Batterskull. Attack. So the Ice-Fang will be able to kill with Teferi, but we certainly are up on cards. They put in their sword. We want to try and get our sword onto our Batterskull before they can get a sword onto their Batterskull. They can also sword their Ice-Fang too. It's kind of gross. Field of Ruin. They can do both. Okay. This seems very weird. Why would they put everything on the Stoneforge? I can just chump block. I guess I can block my Germ. Okay, that makes sense. Sure. We can just like Jace bounce it though. I can't do everything though. We're not going to do that. All right, so we eat the Stoneforge. We lose our Teferi. They have one card left, so we just need to beat this board, and we can come back in this game. The problem is if we bounce the Stoneforge Mystic, they just get the Sword of Fire and Ice also, because they have one more sword than we do. We have a lot of cards, but not a lot of them actually matter. Could Cryptic tap draw on their turn? And then put in sword. Go for the hit. Try and defend from path with force. We could like Jace Brainstorm. We can Jace bounce the Stoneforge Mystic, but I don't think that's what we want to do. Have the ability to counter it on the way back down. If we had Spell Snare in our hand, we could put the Spell Snare into on top of our deck and then set up for that next turn. Cryptic tap team. Fetch Spell Snare. Okay, I actually like that line a lot. All right, so we're going to cast Jace. We're not going to cast Jace. We're going to cast Cryptic and tap their team on their turn. And then end step, fetch back, Spell Snare on top. And then put in Feast and Famine, untap, play Jace, bounce the big Stoneforge. We're not even to do that because they'll be tapped. Oh man, what a complicated game. Okay, yeah, we're going to say go. So yeah, we're going to Cryptic, tap their team, draw a card. I can also counter if they play something. That also works too. So I guess ideally they play a Planeswalker, we counter that and tap their team. Equip Sword to that, sure. Okay. Now we're going to Misty Sanctuary back the Cryptic Command, I guess. Just keep doing this. I mean, that's just better. They're going to field this in response to me. Why not do it after the Cryptic's already on top? I think they made an error. Yeah. They screwed up. Although I didn't notice the field. My clock's getting low. We're getting kind of in a crazy game here. Path that. So we're going to Force of Negation this. So I'll put the Batterskull in too. Honestly, these mana leaks are almost not worthless, but I could mana leak here, but I want to put the sword in, I think. I think it's just more... Well, I could just put the sword in on my turn, I guess. And then untap everything? Yeah, I actually like that. So, okay. Let's mana leak this. So untap, draw Cryptic, play land. There's the Sanctuary's dead, so I can't loop, which is fine. Get land. 2, 2, 4. So they have another path. We're screwed. I think they would have cast it while we were tapped out though. So I can't do basic math. I'm a land shorter than I thought I was. 4, 3. So yeah. Sucks we're not going to gain anything off this mana. But untap. Discard land. Upkeep. Tap everything. Alright, we gotta go. Clock's low. I think we're ahead. Snap's pretty good too. I'll just cast it. I'll put a lantern. Oops. Whatever. Snapcaster, Cryptic. Return target permanent. So return the Colonnade, tap all their stuff. A little sloppy at the end, but our clock's, there's only a minute left, so we got to be going quick here. Not sure what they're tapping mana for, but all right. So I guess I can bounce Batterskull and replay it, but we have the bounce on Jace anyway, so and the Germa's pro black, and we have a flyer and basically everything, so all right, sweet. We'll take it. Put it in the books. 5-0. Trophy. So, deck seems great. This deck's right in my wheelhouse. If you like control decks or tempo decks or Stoneforge Mystic decks, play this deck. However, I don't like that we have no way to deal with a sword. And I think that Knight of Autumn might just fit in better than Timely Reinforcements. It's still good against burn. Not as good, obviously, but, gain 4 life, make it 2-1 is comparable to Timely Reinforcements. Can also block Goblin Guide and stuff, hopefully. And I don't think our burn match is that bad anyway, because we have Stoneforge to gain life with Force to protect it and Euro and removal and stuff. So don't think these Timelies are needed. I kind of want to make these Knight of Autumns, so we have an answer to the mirror and stuff like that. I also think Aven Mind Sensor might be a cool idea. Plays well with the flashy theme of the deck, good against Titans and stuff like that too. But overall, I mean, as I said earlier, super customizable, super cool deck. Like it a lot. I think I'm locking this in for regionals. That's it. We're locking it in. So hopefully my article next week will be or this coming Friday will be my my tournament winning report. Cool? Cool. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Jim Davis for CoolStuffInc.com. Again, as I said earlier, it was a companion article to this video on CoolStuffInc.com. I do a written article every Friday, video article every Monday. Last Friday's article all about Modern. Check that out, of course, as well. Check out CoolStuffInc.com, promo code Jim5, 5% off your order. All the game stuff you'd ever want. And follow them on YouTube as well. And I'll see you fine folks next week. Thanks for watching. I am Jim Davis for CoolStuffInc.com.